What's good with y'all, man? It's your boy Shook, and today I'm gonna be talking about how I finessed, or how you can finesse your way in high school and get the grades you want and get into the programs you want. This is a disclaimer. I'm not saying you'll get into the dream university you want to get into, but here are some of the things I used back when I was in high school in order to get into a good program and such, and I wanted to share with you guys because I know how hard it is to be getting into some of these universities. Like some of these universities, they and colleges, they require dumb averages to get in, bro. Like it's so dumb how high the expectations are now. And I also just wanted to share this with you guys because, I feel like there's a lot of people out there that like they should be able to go to university, and it shouldn't necessarily all need to be determined by grades and such. So I wanted to help those people who are kind of struggling as well and help them, boost up the average and get into the programs they want to. So to start off, I wouldn't say I was necessarily a bad student, but I wasn't a good student either. That's the thing with me. I would be getting like, I'd say like B's and stuff, B's and C's here and there and such, but I wasn't like an excellent student. Like I wasn't like getting like crazy, like, 90 plus averages, like A's and all that. So from grade 9 to 11, I'm pretty sure my averages were like all under, like, they were all within like a B or C range, just like probably like an average student. So by the time it came to grade 12, I increased my average from like maybe like, let's say like somewhere in the 70s ish to like all the way to like about 92 or 93. And this is basically how I did it. So to start off, in my final year of high school, you want to make sure you pick courses that are easy. And this sounds dumb, but I mean, look at what your program requires you to take. So like, let's say it requires you to take a certain amount of math, certain amount of sciences. Make sure all the courses that are like your electives that are supposed to like boost your grade, make sure they're easy courses. And that's what I did because I was going to be a business major. So the only thing I needed was a good math mark and a good English mark. So the rest of my courses, they were hella easy. And to find out if courses are easy and such, what I would recommend is ask people who are older than you about courses. Ask them about teachers, search up, like rate my professors and such. Or I guess not rate my professors, that's for university. Rate my teachers and such. See like which courses and which teachers are easy and such, and make sure you put in the work for those courses and make sure you do good on those courses, because those are your only chances to increase your grade. So that's number one. Number two is, if you're struggling with a particular course and you think it was going to bring your average down severely and such, I would honestly just recommend private schooling it. Now, this is just something that happens in Ontario and such, and I don't know if it works anywhere outside, but basically how it works here is that what private school is basically you go to an institution and you do your courses there, and most of the time they're way easier and such. It's kind of like summer school and such. It's way easier, you get better marks, easier workload and such. And honestly, paying that extra money and such is worth it, because you're basically, essentially, if I'm being honest with you guys, you guys are paying like, let's say like $500, $600 in order to get an A. Like, what? Especially in courses that are so stupid, like English. Like, I hated English all throughout high school. Imagine your life determined on how well you knew Shakespeare in grade 12. Like, that has to be the dumbest thing ever. So I recommend for courses that you're not particularly good with, or will bring down your average. A lot of me and my friends, we weren't too good at English and such because, like we didn't even like to read. We had really hard English teachers. We just private schooled it, honestly, man. The way I thought about it was, I'm putting in an investment now to secure something in the future. So I was putting in money now. And yeah, it sucked, but I was gonna be like, increasing my chances to get into a good program and basically improve my future. So that's why I recommend private schooling and such. You have to kind of look around and such, get people's recommendations on which courses to take and such. I know it's a little bit different, and this part in particular might not apply to like a lot of you out there, because I don't know how they do it in America. I'm speaking here from Canada and such, so who knows and such. The third tip I recommend is that if you have to fill out like an application and it requires like a lot of like writing, get people to help you out. Like, if you really want to get into those programs, you really have to take extra steps. What I personally did was like, I had a really close teacher I was tight with, and she would help me write my applications and tell me what to write and what she would expect. If you can get a teacher to help you, that's honestly better, because a lot of the times they've had experience and they've been in school for so long, they know what kind of things that like universities like to hear and such. So honestly, get help from teachers, get help from people who are actually smart and are gonna make the program and such. Basically, what I did, I got a teacher I was close with. She helped me out with writing my applications, and yeah, that was it from there. Like I'm really poor at writing, like writing skills, like I'm not too good at, but because of her and such, and also me working on the courses that were easy to boost up my average, and also private schooling as well, like I was almost like, I was really pushing my odds to making sure I got into the school I wanted to get into. And the fourth thing I would recommend is to basically like try to find a way to separate yourself from each other, because basically, like for me in particular, I went to a business school, so a lot of the times you have to talk about some of the things you did outside of school. So I'd recommend just going into clubs that you have friends in, for example, or like just clubs you're just interested into, or anything you do for the school. Make sure you write it down, because to separate yourself from other people and such, a lot of the times universities want to see what you do outside of school or what you do in school to help out besides your grades. So make sure you are part of like at least like 2 or 3 different things. Like even if you don't like it, choose something really simple and such. Like for me, for example, I was on the basketball team, so I put down basketball. I was also an assistant coach for one of the teams, and I also was part of a club that was relatively like, we only showed up and had to do events like maybe once or twice throughout, not once or twice, like 3 or 4 times throughout the school year and such. And those were basically my activities I did outside of school. Now, if you combine all 4 of these things and you really work hard for your grade 12 year, knowing that this is the year that will determine where you go to university, and you work your butt off with all the tips I mentioned, you will improve your odds into getting to that university you want to get into. Because I went from being someone who was getting maybe like a B or B plus average at best to getting basically an A plus average in my final year of high school. And that's it for the video. If you like the video, let me know down below. And if you don't like the video, let me know down below in the comments then what you don't like about it. You feel me? Other than that, I'm gonna catch you guys in the next one. Peace.